everybody, welcome back to another Black Shirt Beer Review Quickie. I am, as always, the Rhinus, and I got Jake of Jake and Shred Review Everything back with me. And it's coming closer into the fall time, so that means a lot of the seasonal beers from our microbrewing friends are coming out. This one in particular is from Arcadia Ales, is the Jaw Jacker. Jaw Jacker, believe it or not, not to be fooled by the label, is not a pumpkin beer at all. It is a pumpkin spiced beer. It is actually an amber wheat, as listed on their own website, that is spiced in proportion with the brewmaster's grandmother's pumpkin pie recipe with allspice, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Now, I have a question for you, Rhinus. How do you feel about seasonal beers? Now, obviously, October is a big beer month, so everybody's getting their stuff out. This is, more Halloween, October, pumpkin themed, I guess. So, I mean, how do you feel the rest of the year where there's, different seasonal beers and, are there some beers that just seem like they're just trying to make a buck? And
of course, that's always going to happen. You're always going to find, some places that are just pandering to the people. Like during Christmas, I've seen people bring out peppermint stouts and whatnot. And it's like, come on, really?
Have any of them kind of struck you as good?
No, I've had a couple of them. I'm not going to name names on those ones because I don't even want to bring it up. But most of the seasonals are really good. They're beers that are appropriate for the time, fit in with the season. There's just that kind of brain process going on in the back of your mind that makes those beers fit in more. And this, I wouldn't want to be drinking this in the middle of hot ass July, because this is a heavier beer. It really summons up cold weather and whatnot. Anyway, maybe that is a good reason to start drinking in the middle of hot ass July. I like seasonal beers, especially with a lot of the places. This isn't their mainstays. This is, you can't make a ton of this with all the nutmeg and allspice and whatever, because things like that cost a lot more money than regular hops and grain. So it really does make sense for seasonals. But I don't know, just sitting here, even after I poured it,
I've been holding it under my nose.
It gets you. It comes right out. It's very, very pungent. A huge nose. It clocks right in to what you're expecting it to smell like. This smells like pumpkin pie, guys. It has a very, very dry smell to it. Yeah. It smells like cinnamon and nutmeg and allspice, and I love the color on it though. This is a great, nice, really light amber. It's a little bit of a wheat to it. They say they put wheat into it just for mouthfeel, which I can understand because all those, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, those all have a big puckering, the type of profile that's going to dry out your mouth really hard. Yeah. So throwing in some wheat on that makes a lot of sense. Smells great. Oh yeah. Looks great. Let's see how it tastes.
Fucking drink it.
Roast.
Whew. Hey, it's as advertised.
That is definitely spiced. Yeah. It's not spicy, but man, there is a lot of flavor in there. You can feel your mouth starting to dry out on it the moment that you swallow. Oh. But then it stops and it just mellows out, and it's really actually very good.
I think without, like you were saying, without the wheat, this would be like taking the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, for full on. I mean, there is just a lot of spice in here. But amazingly enough, it doesn't just drown out your malt profile. It doesn't drown out the hops. They're both still there. With 26 IBUs though, I'm expecting to see a little bit more of the hops than what's coming through.
Yeah, it's not very bitter. It's very smooth. There's not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of the beer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Maybe the hops come through a little bit as almost a little bit of lemon profile and way in the back of the mouth. The malt profile is still actually there though. You can tell this is beer, and it's not just, a bunch of grandma juice. Wait a minute. Oh boy,
Renus invented something he shouldn't have.
I made a boo.
He toyed with forces that should not have been toyed.
Why did I play God?
Hubris!
He is punishing this mortal for his hubris.
Arcadia Ales are out of
Battle Creek,
Michigan, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to find this throughout most of the Midwest. I don't know exactly their distribution, but if you can find it up here in Marquette, Michigan, middle of nowhere, I'm willing to bet you can find it out there a fair ways. And you know what? At 6% alcohol, this is really drinkable. Like, this would creep up on you really fast, because, I'm going to put this one down in fine fashion, and not just because, it's the episode, but
yeah,
this is tasty.
I want to go to there.
I feel like if it weren't for the high spice content, that this would be sessionable. Otherwise, I can't imagine myself sitting down and drinking like a whole 6-pack of this.
Ooh, no, I don't think I could either. Maybe 2, 3, but not a whole 6-pack. You're gonna end up with like the worst cinnamon hangover in the world or something. I don't even want to think about that. It's terrifying. We'll rate this on a fall season. How about this?
It's we were talking about it earlier, and I really do think that this is perfect for the season. I think that all of the notes in it bring out the pumpkin pie, the pumpkin smell. Personally, for me, it reminds me of like going to like a chain store and going down the aisle with all the costumes and the candles. And
right. Yeah,
it smells like that.
Yeah.
It smells like the seasonal department during fall.
And I'm really surprised that they decided to go forward on like a pumpkin spiced beer without putting a bit of pumpkin in it at all. There's no pumpkin in this.
Yeah, that's weird. There's like a man-eating pumpkin on the bottle.
But no pumpkin.
But there's not really any pumpkin in it.
But as far as the fall seasonal goes, which we'll rate this on, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I like this a great deal. I like the fact that they went out on kind of a limb by making their fall season, especially about now in October, without pumpkin in it. And I like it a lot. I'm going to buy this while I can, and maybe even hold on to a few bottles, see how it drinks during the summer, now that I've thrown that idea out there. Jake, what do you think?
I love beer. I'm not a huge beer drinker or a beer connoisseur. And, I'm enjoying this. I don't know if I would go out of my way to get it, though. I would have to give it probably a 3.5 out of 5. It's good for what it is, which brings, the points up. But, I'm not super crazy about it. It's good, but, I don't know. I guess I prefer my beer to be more beery, and this is more of a seasonal beer. So if you're into beer and you want a seasonal beer, this works really well. But for me, I don't go out of my way to get special stuff for the seasons, because I'm grinchy as all get out. So
well, there you go. Another Black Shirt beer review quickie under the belt. Until next time, I'm Rhinus.
And I'm Jake from Jake the Sharp Review Everything.
Happy drinking. This is how we do it. Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Peanut butter disaster.